And I have seen yung delegation ng West Rainbow Elementary School. Grade 3 sila, tatlo sila, they compete in robotics. We know that robotics not yet in our curriculum, but in several divisions they have been introducing robotics years ago. We are planning to convince curriculum and instruction to already include coding and programming and robotics in the curriculum starting with grade 3. Para sa ganon ay maganda na yung pagiging tahaking nila. Ang point dito is we would also want to define what kind of graduate we would want our children to be experts of by grade 12. Saan natin sila dadalhin? At ang isang emerging consensus is that we may need to have or to focus on data protection and cybersecurity specialists. Dito magagaling ang Pinoy. Remember, noong 1990s, meron I love you virus na kumalat na napasok ang Pentagon. Pinoy yun. Mga kakilala pa namin ng mga taga-ama ang gumawa niya. Yung I love you virus. No? So from there on, iba't ibang virus na yung pumasok. Hanggang yung alam niyo yung buwaha o hindi nyo alam yun. Hindi nyo na naabutan siguro. No? 1990s yan. Noong nag-i-start pa lang, ang computers pa lang ng XT tsaka 80. Hindi nyo na siguro naabutan. Hindi naman kami ganun katanda. No? Naabutan nyo pa ba ang computer? Kulay green? Ay, matanda na rin kayo. Anyway, we would want to do this. We would want to have an annual event that would cascade from the national, regional, at division, magkaroon ng contest, programming, robotics, data protection, cybersecurity, lahat. And an exhibition of the best practices that we have in the schools and in the campuses. Next is we have Quick Response Services, or QRS. QRS is the front-loading of funds for faster access to provide PLS, computers, learning materials, furniture, and all others in calamity-devastated areas within 24 to 48 hours after the occurrence of the calamity. Gusto natin ganun kabilis. How will we do this? There are two options that we are looking at. One is the procurement of warehousing and logistics services. Nakatambak na lahat doon. Computers, chairs, tables, textbooks, everything, even PLS. Pag nag-occur ang isang typhoon sa isang lugar, pasok lahat yan kagad within 24 and 48 hours after the cleanup. Hindi na yung maghihintay pa tayo ng downloading, procurement, so forth. Isang buwan na, wala pang umababa. 2 buwan na, hindi pa nakatayo ang PLS. We want to do away with that. Within 24 to 48 hours, may response na tayo dapat. We're already discussing this with the procurement strand. Another is the parametric and non-life insurance. For this year, we will be having a parametric insurance starting July 1. Parametric insurance is the coverage of schools in the Eastern Seaboard, yung mga tawag natin doon, most frequently typhoon visited schools. Ibig sabihin yung palaging sinasapunta ng mga bagyo. Meron tayong ilalagay dyan na parametric insurance. There's a 1 billion worth of fund to be used for parametric insurance. Ang equivalent yan is about 10 billion pesos payoff. Ang kaibahan ng parametric insurance and non-life is that ang qualification lang for to release the fund is the actual occurrence of the calamity. Meaning, kung si Bicol ay tinamaan ng signal number 3 na bagyo at tumating si signal number 3, labas agad yung pera. If, for example, on a per region basis, the equivalent of a payoff on a regional basis is something like about 100 million. Pag dumating si signal number 3, 100 million release ka agad. May devastation o wala. Basta may occurrence of the typhoon as officially announced by Pag-asa. That is the parametric insurance concept. So pag pumasok yan, may pera agad na ilalabas. Ang pinag-uusapan na lang natin dito, kung anong klaseng pondo ang manggagaling sa parametric insurance. Why? Because we would want to use the parametric insurance to replace all buildings along the eastern seaboard. Meaning, pag nawala yung bubong, which is just about 20% of the entire building, huwag mo na i-repair yung bubong, palitan mo na yung buong building. Under the current COA regulations, pag ginamit natin ng GAA, hindi pwede yan. Kasi ang pwede lang, kung i-replace mo yung building, kung 60% damage yung building na yan, pwede mo na siyang replace. Pero kung only 20%, hindi mo pwede i-replace, kundi i-repair mo lang. Dito sa parametric, if we would be successful enough to define the nature of the fund, kahit na 20% pa lang ang damage, to replace the entire building. Para sa ganun, mag-conform na siya dun sa mga climate resiliency measures that we are developing. Para pag tinayo natin yung building doon na maayos at na-replace natin yung building, kahit na same bagyo o mas malakas na bagyo, hindi na siya masisira. Yun yung gusto natin marating pagdating dito sa parametric insurance. So, aside from that, we will also insure all other buildings sa non-life insurance. But ang problema lang natin dito is the funds that we are always proposing to DBM ay hindi palagi binibigay. Tapos kawawa yung mga schools at yung mga divisions, palagi sila nakakatanggap ng AOM pagdating sa KECOA dahil hindi naka-insure yung mga schools. But we would go into that later. Also, we would like also to focus on the development of youth leadership and the revival of Filipino music. Ang tinitingnan natin dito is to focus more on DepEd core values like the one that has been presented to you on the first opening of yesterday. DepEd core values should be institutionalized and should always be discussed and imbibed by every student and by every teacher. We have taken the concept of a nation of heroes coming from Negros, kung saan yung mga student leaders nila, yung mga members and officers of the SSG and SPG converge in different assemblies and discuss things like nationalism, climate change, and everything that will affect them as citizens of this country, preparing them for the role of leadership and for their development later on. Kasama rito yung revival of Filipino music. In terms of health, ito yung gagawin natin. We have adopted the concept of OK sa DepEd or Oplan Kalusugan sa DepEd, where all health plans, policies, programs, and activities are converged and undertaken within 1 week in January and in July. Ibig sabihin, twice a year, every July and every January, lahat ng programa natin sa health na pwedeng isagawa ay isasagawa. Timbang ng bata, deworming, vaccination, everything will be done in 1 week's time. And there will be 2 instances where we will do that. One in July in preparation for the school-based feeding program, and another in January to assess if the students that we have measured in July would have improved by that time or after 6 months. Tapos ulit-ulit na naman natin yan. Para hindi yun katulad na nangyayari ngayon, hiwa-hiwalay ang pag-undertake ng mga programs. Corollary to this is what I have discussed to you yesterday, the Feed One and Feed All policy when it comes to school-based feeding program. And I think the School Health Division would be discussing this policy if need be. Another one is the support to operations. Ito na yung modernization and equipping of regional and division offices, providing service vehicles, computers and other equipment, and hopefully insurance and healthcare to our people. Yung service vehicles, sa inyo, ang muna namin bibigyan ay mga engineers. Yung engineers natin ay bibigyan natin ng mga service vehicles. Saan yung mga engineers? Anyway, nag-meeting naman na kami last week. Bakit inuuna yung engineers? Kasi sila yung nagpupunta sa iba't ibang mga lugar. Makikiangkas na lang si IT at si DRRM. O si Health at si Youth. Anyway, priority kasi dyan, inspection of school projects, construction projects. Hiwalay ito doon sa ibibigay na sasakyan kay superintendent o sa SDO, which you can also avail of kung kailangan nyo. There will be two provisions on services. Yung SDO at saka yung engineers. Hopefully, within the next year, yun naman ibang mga groups ang pwede pa natin bigyan. But how do we distribute yung vehicles na available sa ngayon? We can only provide half of the divisions at this time. We have made several criteria. Sabi namin, yung mga division na talaga walang sasakyan, dapat bigyan ng isang sasakyan. Pero dapat ang budget utilization rate nila is more than 90%. Pag nag-fall below 90%, next batch. Next batch sila. Yung susunod naman, nakategory dyan, yung may sasakyan na, pero more than 7 years old yung mga sasakyan nila. Pwedeng dagdagan na yan, bigyan na yan ng isang sasakyan. Again, provided that the budget utilization is more than 90%. So we're looking at two criteria. One is the wala talaga sasakyan, o may sasakyan pero luma na. The other one is the performance when it comes to utilization of the budget. Siyempre, pagdating sa utilization of the budget, kayo rin titignan nila. O, yung engineer nila titignan nila. On both engineers and divisions, we will be providing that kind of criteria. At dun sa iba, ang hinihingi namin sa iba ay, do you really need land vehicles or do you need sea vehicles? For example, Batanes, Palawan, Mindoro, Cebu, they need motorized boats. So we may be providing them with boats para mas mabilis yung pag-ikot sa mga isla. Generally, sasabay na rin dyan ng engineer dahil maraming mga eskwelahan sa mga isla. I have asked the ICTS to provide us a list of divisions that have schools in far-flung islands. I-categorize na lang namin sino yung pinakamaraming school na mga nasa island para sa ganun ma-prioritize yung pagbigay ng motorized vehicles or motorized boats, motorboats. Hopefully, we can also provide insurance and healthcare para sa inyo, lalo-lalo na yung nagpupunta sa field. Ito yung gusto namin ma-implement pagdating sa engineers. Problem lang mga engineers, hindi sila regular items, karamihan sa kanila COS. We're devising a policy on how to provide insurance sa kanila. Sample dyan, taasan natin ang sweldo nila pero kunin natin yung kalahati para sa insurance. That's the emerging solution. Dahil hindi natin sila maisama kahit sa policy ng insurance. Sa DRRM, mas maswerte because we have a calamity fund. At doon namin kukunin sa calamity fund yung insurance ng mga DRRM. Kasi yung DRRM, pag may calamity, nauunang pumapunta yan sa iba't ibang mga lugar. Mas madaling i-implement sa kanila because we have revolving fund for calamity fund. For the rest, wala. Hindi naman daw lumalabas yung iba in terms of calamities or in times of disaster. But we'll have to check on that. Depende, health, wala lang naman. We'll have to check with your bosses, okay? Meron naman nata kayo pag nakata, di ba? That being provided. Or doctors, dentists, nurses. Anyway, let's discuss that later on. Another thing is the capacity to capacitate DepEd implementers and frontliners. Dito malaki ang magiging role ninyo. As discussed yesterday, because we have so many schools nationwide, our engineers should start capacitating our principals and school heads in construction projects. So magkakaroon yan ng workshops to train our principals to be engineers in 3 days' time, and then to have some knowledge on how to monitor construction projects. Kasama din dyan yung mga IT officers to capacitate computer laboratory teachers para sila mismo yung mag-maintain ng computer sa school nila at magtuturo din ng ICT content sa curriculum. Same sa DRR, same sa information coordinators. Meaning, we will be focusing on you as what they call this, as between the region, the national, the regions, and the schools, para kayo mismo yung maging trainers ng mga school counterparts ninyo. Why? Because we cannot train them ng malakihan. The mass training of teachers are always lodged at the curriculum and instruction, pero dito tingnan natin on how we will be capacitating you, and then kayo yung umiikot sa mga school at kayo yung magte-training sa mga frontliners natin o sa mga implementers sa bawat school. And then we have the Teachers Camp Development Plan. This is the big plan that we would want to do. We would want to duplicate Baguio Teachers Camp all over the country. We will have a Teachers Camp in Baguio, in Bagabag, in Cebu, in Boracay, in Nasuli, Taguig, and in Pasig. Teachers Camp at the level of a 3 or 4 star hotels. Para naman sa ganon ay mas madali ang training natin sa mga teachers. Lahat yan, meron tayong properties. And if we have properties, but we do not have funds to develop our properties, we would be entering into partnership with hotel management corporations or with developers para sila yung mag-develop ng lugar. Put up hotels, like training centers, na tatawagin din natin teachers camp. Mas madali ang training ng mga teacher dahil wala na rin bidding, dahil ito ay magiging proper sa ng DepEd. So madali ang pagkandak ng training at cut na kaagad ang mga red tapes pagdating sa procurement. We will want to do this within the next 3 to 5 years. Hopefully, we will start in the central office. The central office will be transferred to Taguig. Once we have entered into partnership with a willing partner, i-develop muna yung Taguig, magtatayo doon ng bagong central office, at pag natapos yun, in 3 years time, lilipat yung central office doon. Lipat lang ng gano'n. Continue the work after 1 day of transfer or 1 week of transfer. Tapos yung central office natin ngayon, yung Ultra, it will be developed into a teacher's camp or a teacher's convention center na magiging training facilities din. These are the plans that we would want to do para mas mapadali ang mga trainings natin. Of course, as part of good governance, we need to engage all stakeholders and all civil society partners para sa ganon ay makasama natin sila sa monitoring at saka sa evaluation ng ating mga proyekto. Hindi yung tayo lang na nagmo-monitor o tayo lang nag-evaluate. We would try to engage them. We would try to have partnership with them in the monitoring of our projects and our programs. We would, aside from capacitating our frontliners and our implementers at the school level, we would engage other members of society. And then we will also develop mobile apps for reporting para mas madali. Nasa procurement na ito ng DepEd's. And hopefully, within this year, matapos na nila yung mobile apps na ito kasi last year pa natin pinaplano ito. Then we would like to put up Facebook groups or Facebook pages in the different regions and division offices. Ito yung DepEd tayo. Sa national level, you can see your Facebook, you just search DepEd tayo, and you can see there a page na ang palaging nire-report doon yung strand ng administration. Kung nasaan yung Usec ng administration, o nasaan yung ibang Usec o Asec ng Exicom, at ano yung ginagawa nila. This is different and separate from DepEd Philippines. DepEd Philippines is the official website and Facebook site of DepEd. Doon naman karamihan doon puro official pronouncements. Dito sa DepEd tayo, ang karamihan naman na feature dito yung ginagawa ng mga EXECO members. Ngayon, we would want this to be translated into the regions and into the divisions. The ITO officers would be given the task to create DepEd tayos in your regions and in your divisions. The ICTS will be issuing memo on how to do this. So, ibig sabihin, may DepEd tayo ARM, DepEd tayo Region 1, o Cordillera, mga ganong klase. At kung ano naman yung activity nyo dyan, yun ang pinifeature ninyo para makita ng mga tao. O, ganun din sa division. So, you will have a DepEd tayo Sagay City, o DepEd tayo Palawan, o mga ganong klase. And ang mag-i-charge dyan, pag-usapan namin, ang mag-aayos nito ay yung IT officers in close coordination with the ESSD chief and the SGOD chief. Nasabi na namin sa kanila yan. Sabi namin maglalabas tayo ng memo para pare-pareho yung mga magiging pangalan o magiging syntax dun sa paglalagay ng mga pangalan. And process kung ano yung ilalabas ninyo mga photographs o mga posts. Ang gusto namin makita, ang pinopost dyan, ay yung mga pinupuntahan ninyo at yung mga trabaho ninyo. Ano yung monitoring nyo ng mga eskwelahan, ng school construction, ano yung sa calamity, ano yung training ng youth, o ano yung ginagawa sa health. Dyan sa posting ninyo ay makikita rin natin at ano yung pwede natin i-cascade sa regions at saka sa national level. If we will be doing this, mamaya, I think Jasmine will give you some lectures on Facebook and on social network. If we can do this, then we can provide our people with a lot of transparency and a lot of what you call news about what we are doing in DepEd in the different divisions and in the different regions. Sinasabi sa atin palagi, lalong-lalo sa national, marami nga kayong ginagawa, hindi naman namin alam. Hindi naman namin makita. So we will try to answer them by using social networks. Para sa ganun, we can inform our people. And through these social networks, we also get their comments. We also get their complaints. So how will we do this in a yearly basis? Ang target natin dito ay 10,000 schools per year ang magiging focus ng mga programs natin o ang mga convergence ng mga programs namin. Ang different programs ng Office of the Undersecretary for Administration would converge on 10,000 schools per year. And in the span of 5 years, we can say that we have reached out to all the available schools or existing schools nationwide. Ito yung pwede natin gawin na template. No? And the EFD have already started, the Education Facilities Division have already started programming all construction works along these lines. Na pagti 10,000 ang target schools per year. Hopefully, yung ibang mga strand natin or offices natin would be doing the same by using or by converging programs on the 10,000 schools until such time na lahat ng eskwela ay may ma-reach out natin. So how will we do these things? We have a lot of dreams, we have lots of programs, but we don't have money. Don't have funds. Lahat ito relative to sa availability of funds. Of course, our sources of funds is are the General Appropriations Act or the national budget and partnership with the public and private sector. Next slide, please. Yung private sector natin can engage us or can help us implement our programs through PPP or public and private partnership. Whether it's a digital classroom or a construction of all school facilities or even the training of our staff and our people, we will engage the private sector. Kasi hindi kaya ng government funds ang pagpupunto ng lahat ng mga gusto nating mangyari. Next slide. This is the last slide. You can email us at uap@deped.gov.ph for all comments, all issues, all problems. all complaints that you would need us to address or to resolve. Itong email address siya, para sa inyo lang yan. No, yung uap@deped.gov.ph. Do not email us dun sa usec.admin o kaya dun sa Alain Pascua at deped.gov.ph or other email addresses. Ito yung binigay namin na email addresses para lang sa regions and divisions. We have a separate email address for the central office, for the execom, for the public, and for other sectors. But for you, for the regions and the divisions, ito yung gagamitin yung email address. So, uap@deped.gov.ph. Alam namin na pag kayo nag-email, alam namin pag may email ka, galing sa inyo yan. So we will be using also different messaging applications aside from the emailing group so that we would fast track the relaying of information from the national to the regions and to the division. We're looking at WhatsApp as our messaging application, not Viber. Viber, ang daming disturbances dun sa Viber. Although sa WhatsApp meron din, pero dahil konti ang gumagamit ng WhatsApp, yun na rin ang gamitin natin para alam ninyo na pag mayroong message sa WhatsApp, galing yan sa central office o sa mga regions at sa mga divisions. But we will issue memorandum on this matter para sa ganun guided lahat on how we will do it. That's why in the registration, we need to have your email addresses and your phone numbers, mobile numbers. Para sa ganoon ay may pasok na natin kagad dyan sa database. And once we have finalized the protocols for our messaging apps, madali na namin kayong panisaw. That's sum up, basically, the 5-year master plan of the OUA. Marami, but you already would know yung direction na pwede natin puntahan. Ito na yung nakikita natin direction. In the next 5 years, we would want to establish the fundamentals and the institution of some policies, programs, and activities. You can criticize our programs, you can comment on them, you can ask questions later, or you can contribute ideas and other things na wala dyan, o na hindi dapat nandyan, para sa ganun ay may improve pa natin ito ng gusto. So I hope you have a wonderful workshops and a good conference. At tatakbo pa ako sa kabila. Para sa ganun ay, kung may questions kayo, mamaya na lang siguro, pagbalik ko. Pupunta ako muna yung mga principals naman ng, I think it's region 4B ngayon? No, 4A kahapon. I don't know, today. It's another region ata. Because we are meeting all principals na nag-host ng PPP schools, and there are about 4,000 sites. Every day, iba-iba yung kausap namin principals diyan sa Great Eastern. Kahapon, Region 4A. I don't know now, baka 4B. Tapos susunod 2, 1, iba-iba. Kaya yan lang po ang masasabi ko sa inyo. Unless you have questions, you can either raise your questions mamaya or email us, just in case we cannot answer all your questions this time. Magandang umaga sa inyo lahat.